Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today's video, I want to share my curriculum picks for my Darian. In case you are new, my son Darian is 16 years old. Cannot believe that. And he has autism. And so his going into grade 10 looks very different than most children or teens going into grade 10. His day is very structured around what I do with my girls, and I'm really focused on making sure that school is as fun and as applicable to life for him as humanly possible. And so there's a lot of things that I've had to adjust and change. I talk all the time on this channel about if you have a child with autism or special needs and you're trying to pick curriculum based on what your child can do or can't do or would enjoy or whatever, it's all about adjusting constantly. Every time you think you've got it, adjust again. That has been my experience. I have bought all of the curriculums, believing that this might be the one that fits him perfectly, and have been not disappointed, but just recognize that his brain works so differently, and that sometimes that sameness or that he had a bad experience at school when we had him in school and stuff. So there's a lot underneath. I am going to leave in the description below the 8 benefits to homeschooling a special needs child that I made a couple of weeks back. I want to make sure that he is as confident and willing as possible so that we're not butting heads, because when there's conflict and frustration there, he's not learning anyway. And so it's really in my mind to really focus on those things. So if you've watched this channel for a long time, then you know that my son struggles with sleep. Again, one of the gifts of autism that he has, that he doesn't really go to sleep until 1 or 2 in the morning, and he still needs us to be in the room with him. There are reasons why, and we accept those reasons and love him despite those reasons. But it means that he wakes up a little bit later, or he wakes up earlier, but mama needs to sleep in later. Like it affects our timeline of homeschool very much based on that. So for the morning, he is not a morning person, and he doesn't even want to really eat any like breakfast or lunch until around 11, 12. So again, that kind of shifts everything around. But for read aloud, the first thing that I do is I give him his Leapfrog tablet. This is something that we got the kids when they were quite little, and he still loves watching. He still loves playing some of the learning games on this because they're familiar and he remembers them and he loves them. And so with this, it's been really good, like, to still have those learning tools available to him. We've got Word World on here. We have what is it? Go Diego Go. We have a game, more science game, where it's changing water into drops or steam or brick of ice depending on what he needs to go to get through a tunnel. There's spelling games on here. There's so many different learning games that sometimes he doesn't touch, and then other days, oh, you found that again. So this is one of the ones to kind of get him just warming up to doing school. The next thing that I do with him is both this and this, I'll show you on the other side in a minute, is on our fridge. So one of the things that we do is he will look at the clock on the stove and put it on this clock face. And we also go through what the day is, what's the date, what the weather looks like, what season, what is he feeling, and he always picks happy or silly. I have several different other ones, and he's just like, none of the negative ones apply. Nope. And and holiday, so we have a birthday coming up. So it's one of those things where I found it just again helps him figure out calendar and what life looks like. And I think this year I might, instead of season, I might add what kind of clothes he should wear, warm clothes or cold clothes, depending on, and I might add a few more feelings other than happy and silly and see if he changes or adjusts that. But it's definitely one of the things that has been consistent for our family, and I think there's a video somewhere where I made this. And I can show you it if I find it. I can't promise you that, but it's just a cookie sheet from the thrift store and some packing tape and just background wallpapers that I found online on Google that I just printed off and then glued or taped and whatever, and then made little pockets out of, and it has lasted consistently for so long. So once that's all done, he will go to the living room. He'll play on his Xbox, but I've been trying to get him to a place where he's not doing that as much. But he will sometimes still have it on while he's building some puzzles. We do puzzles from 63 pieces to 150 now. And some are like most of them are educational. Every once in a while there's one where he was like, oh, I want to do this one. His favorite puzzle is a 48 piece puzzle, which I try to steer him away from because it's just too easy for him. But there are days where I pull that one out when he's like clearly not feeling well, or he's just sick and he's just not wanting to do anything. Then I will pull that one out. And it's the Dr. Seuss green eggs and ham one, which he loves. So the other thing that you guys probably have seen already that we're still doing, so he builds the puzzle. I do my stuff with the girls, and then I go to him, see if his puzzle is done. If the puzzle is done, then we move on to his learning menus. So I have built these menus, and what I like about these menus is that I can change the pages out depending on what I'm feeling, how he's doing with them. So I've got one of his favorite books, and these all come off, and I can mix them all up, and then he's like, oh no, that's not right, Mom. I will have him do a maze to help get his brain working. We'll do Bible pages talking about creation. We will do graphs, just simple little things that, again, help him kind of navigate the world as it is. This one, I'm still kind of following the So Happy to Learn method of teaching my son to read and do math. I will leave a link down below to that. But this is in the same style. I will leave a link to my friend Leilani's page. She has put some of these together, and they're just really good for helping your kids see the words and then, actually go, okay, watermelon, and like really equate these. Life skills. So, I was out swimming, I have a whole bunch of laundry, I have to do the laundry and put them in the dryer, and then we have to fold them and put them away. So just those really easy skills, but for him need to be more on this page rather than done. He's very resistant at this point to doing that kind of stuff. So again, just like, let's talk about it, and you can understand some of those things. He still does it if it's something that he wants, like his pajamas are dirty and he wants me to fix them or that sort of thing, then he's more apt, but it has to be his motivation. So I've also done these pages with Darian's IGA flyers. He calls it the grocery store. and he picks 5 things from the menu. He adds them up on the calculator. We pull out the cash needed to pay the bill and that sort of thing, which I find really is helpful. We're still doing those 4 Bible verses that he did. I mix them all up and then he fixes it. And then depending on how he feels, sometimes he'll write, sometimes I will write it for him. And this is another page from Leilani's pages. So some days I will do these menus. I'm just seeing if there's anything in this one that is different. Oh yeah, things like, you know, what's more likely to happen, what's less likely to happen, pigs flying, yeah, that sort of activity for him. So another thing that I do with him more regularly, just kind of depends on how he's feeling, whether we do the menus or not. I have built these books. So I like This Is and I See books. Now these ones I made because I just recognized that I wanted to do the So Happy to Learn, but I wanted to do it in a way that he enjoyed, that he would have fun with. And this was things that I could pull out that he really, really loves to do. So these are all the places where we have to go, or he wants to do the swimming or the park, you know, those types of things. Watch movie with my sisters, play with my dog, that sort of thing. And then it's in the flavor of So Happy to Learn, but it's definitely his. So I also love these because I can take these off. So I found these at Temu, which are just Velcro dots. And once he gets to a place where he knows the book so well that it's memorized and he's not really reading, then I can actually change or move or do a completely different I See book. This one could be food next time you see it. This is... Now these are also from Miss Leilani's monthly stuff. And I'll leave it linked down in Teachers Pay Teachers. But, you know, this is a dress. Mommy is wearing lots of dresses right now. This is a pair of shoes. So just helping him read more fluently. Yeah, so he really likes hairy bows, and so I can really tailor make these pages, and all of it is on these Velcro dots that I can take off. So another thing that I started doing more regularly for him is this clock, so telling time. Now, I struggled with the idea of teaching him the old clock because I'm like, is he really going to need that skill and ability? But I also was like, well, there's so many things happening when you look at an analog clock, and you have to recognize what somebody is saying and pick the right time. So I will ask him, where is 10:30? And out of these 4, he has to check mark it. And where is 6 o'clock? And he'll check mark it. And then he'll look at the clock when we're doing our stuff, and he will draw it, and then I will try and say, okay, this is the latest thing I've added to it, is can you tell me what time that is? And so we'll be like, it's 5:25. Awesome. So the other thing that I've been doing with him is I've been really focusing on doing more of his calculator skills and writing those answers down. Now I don't, as you can see, I don't always have him do a full page. Kind of depends on the time, what's happening in life, how he's doing, if he's really just kind of going through the motions or he's having fun with it. But I got this out of a book that I found at Dollarama, and it has all of the Pixar characters, which he knows a lot of them, and so it's changing things up a little bit and helping him do math in a more fun, easygoing way, like with his grocery lists. I'm going to do a lot more of those over the summer, I hope. But I'm also hoping to stick in a few pages. I think I might be doing that with the menus, is putting one menu is math and doing that over the course of, the month. And then each one has a new page, and then kind of inserting some of the Math UC pages back in, just because I feel like he's getting older and I'm really needing to focus on that. I've also been adding some more sticker books because he does enjoy doing those, and they're really good for when he's not feeling it, when he's feeling frustrated about life, and I can be like, okay, today is a sticker book day and it's not a big deal. The other thing that I'm thinking of is I've had these blank books that I got from Amazon a long time ago, and I was just thinking I might add some more where we're building his own stories in these. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet, but I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to his age and not just doing like, some of it is important because it's his interests, but also going more his age group. So we are still 100% doing the Sunrise program every single day in our regular life, but also doing Playroom Fun. I think I've gone down to one time a week, less in the summertime, but it takes a lot of energy, and I'm finding myself not having tons and tons of it. So I really have been prioritizing it, making sure that I'm doing those Sunrise principles in day-to-day life. But one of the things that I do in Playroom Fun time is I started reading him the Hardy Boy books, the old school hardback ones, because I just want him to have that like understanding of just boy stuff, right? And I loved Hardy Boy books. I did not read Nancy Drew when I was a kid. I tried it and was like, no, Hardy Boy books all the way. So I was thinking that maybe we could do our own Hardy Boy book mystery or something straightforward and simple, but have Frank and Joe be the characters. I'm not sure how that's going to look just yet, but yeah, I have that. And then there's something that I have my eye on. We play with his dad, because he does not want his dad doing Playroom Fun with him, but we've been playing and joking around, and so we'll do this little pig, let me in. And so there's a storybook where it actually folds out and sets out into a whole house where you can move the characters around, and I want to get that for him for Playroom Fun. He loves playing Jenga. That's one of the new things that we've been doing. And sometimes he'll choose to build the Jengas into his own tower, which is fun. But he knows like that taking turns thing has become a huge thing for him as well. So I'm really excited. I think that despite the fact that it's not a typical grade 10 curriculum at all, in any way, shape, or form, I feel like it's a really good way. I do want to see if I can employ him in a chore that's just his chore that he needs to accomplish and do. So that's one of those things where I have to play it by ear, because it's not always easy and straightforward. But if it's something simple enough, I think that he is able to do it. His language is still growing. It's still just really slow. And it's always fun to have others come over and they're like, oh my goodness, he's talking way more. And you're like, oh, cool. So the work that you do, if you've made it this far into the video, well done you. But I wanted to say that if you're like me going, I don't see a lot of change in my child for all the amount of effort and work I put into it, just know that he probably is growing and changing, and you're just not, you're so close you don't see it sometimes. And I'm just so thankful to say that he is doing fantastic, and I'm just so thrilled with the fact that there's things that he's still learning. And with autism, there is that brain like solidifying and become like, that doesn't happen for autistic kids. I can't remember the study that I read about that, but they're like, yeah, you know. And a gentleman here in town who's autistic, was born in the 60s. He just got his high school diploma, and it was like, it's huge, it's huge. So I don't know, was he born in the 60s? He might have been born in the 70s, but he's older than I am, and he just got his high school diploma. So, like, you never know where our kids are going to go, and your efforts are always worth it. So, I hope this has been a helpful video, listening to me chatter and chatter, but thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.